Hello friends, so I'm in my kitchen and I wanted to take a moment to speak to you while I'm preparing the lentil soup of today that will cook for a good hour. And while we're having some kind of strange weather coming on, I could hear some thunder out there and the wind is really taking on, so we'll see what happens. What I wanted to talk to you about got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with weight loss. A lot of people today, women especially, have this tendency to worry about their weight and how their body looks and want to lose weight. And I'm saying this because plenty of the people that I work with have that specific issue. It's usually the reason even that they get in touch with me. And it doesn't matter if it's Ayurveda or therapeutic work in different ways, or even yoga. And very often we approach weight loss in quite the wrong way, because we approach it from the Ayurvedic perspective, let's say, as if it was a kapha imbalance, which is of course very often the case for obesity or diabetes type 2 and things like that. Now, if you look at most of the women today that are into the idea of weight loss, do they seem to have the typical characteristics of kapha imbalance? No, because actually they don't seem to be lazy laying on the couch eating chocolates and feeling bad about themselves most of the days. Usually what seems to be the issue is they try too much. They do too much, they aggravate everything. So often actually the problem is not what we try to treat when we try to move even more, when we try to eat even less. The problem is something else. Now, there's another thing that's added on with this, which I find extremely interesting, and that is our hormones. You see, when it comes to feeling depleted and tired and lack of energy, if I'm a man, my testosterone will benefit from movement and activity. Actually, that's really good to get the testosterone levels up and good. However, estrogen, sorry, my pronunciation in English is always hard on that one because I'm used to saying it, estrogen, needs the opposite. And this is the reason that a lot of women deplete themselves, because they keep pushing. And their yin factor, if you will, their feminine sex hormones are stressed out, and that has really negative effects on us. And what happens is that it perpetuates itself, because the reason even that they got into that space to begin with was because their stress hormones were too high, which also had their insulin levels peaking, which means that they would be craving sugar and then having even insulin resistance in the body, which then becomes obesity. And actually that happens to make the whole situation of weight loss even more impossible. So what we really need is actually to maybe do less, to maybe move less, to be slower, to rest more. And that feels really counterproductive when all we want is to look tight and fit and, as if we're running 10 miles every day, and it doesn't matter because we're, so energetic anyway. A few of these things I will talk about in the webinar, and it's definitely what we focus on in the program a lot, the Nourish, Balance, Thrive program. If you haven't yet signed up for the free webinar that takes place on Saturday, what are you waiting for? DM me straight away, webinar, and I'll add you to the list. Let's see how that soup is getting along. Yeah, got some time left. I've got a patient now anyway.